think about that. When people talk about depression, they're like, you have nothing to be depressed about. I hear that often, and especially coming from parents.
Yeah.
I gave you everything. You have nothing to be depressed over. You just completely invalidated how I actually feel, and you're making me feel worse about a situation that I don't have control of. I don't want to be depressed. You know, I don't want to feel bad. I don't want to be upset. And you're saying, why do you feel upset? You start questioning me. Oh, you want to understand, but what you're really doing is invalidating me. What you're really doing is hurting the person by really saying, I'm hearing you. I don't want to listen. I want to know.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, man, how did we just commandeer this conversation?
Man, you talk about let me ask you a real question. You guys really do believe in depression? I want to hear your takes on it, because I know you had talked about it earlier. You brought it up again. I want to hear your thoughts on depression.
I personally do, but I think it is. I think a lot of people think of depression as like a thing, like this thing. It's this size. It's this much, and I think there are so many different. It's almost like Christianity. There's so many subsects of depression. How many types of Christianity are there? Hundreds. Yeah. Hundreds. It's like depression. I feel depression, you know, like it happens. And whether it's like, for me, whether it's like a desire for more, or maybe it's tied to like a past thing that I went through as a child. Like there's times where I feel off, and some people like that say that's not depression. Invalidation. Like right. So many people like, you don't even know what I feel. You don't know what I feel.
How you gonna tell me how I feel?
Or or just because I don't know, you don't feel like I feel, or vice versa, doesn't make your feelings less valid.
Your depression doesn't seem as bad to me.
Yeah. According to you.
According to you. Yeah. According to
so Joe Schmo.
What you just said is your invisible illness isn't apparent to me, thus it doesn't exist. Okay. Where's my diabetes? Do you see my diabetes? No. Does that mean I don't have it?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So do you know how much I struggle with diabetes? No. You have no clue. No. Do you know anything? You don't know that I test my blood sugar. I have to prick my finger 5, 6, 10 times a day. Whoa. I have to take insulin 6, 10 times a day. Yeah. I have to use a medication that would literally kill me, or I'll die without it. That insulin is $400 a vial that used to be $1. The patent was sold for $1. That I have to do 2 vials a month. That's $800 a month to stay alive. You don't know that. I'm just sitting on the couch talking with y'all. Now, it's not my job to show you that, but it's also not your job to say, oh, diabetes must be easy. He looks fine.
And he's not real.
Invisible illness. Invisible illness. So I think there's definitely a potentially a wave. This is all my perspective. Potentially a wave of people who are clinging on to depression that aren't actually depressed, and there can be an easy crossover from laziness. But I do believe there is an actual depression thing, and the hard part is the line is being blurred.
Yeah. Okay.
The line is being blurred. Yeah. You know, and that's a potential issue because it's really easy to confuse lethargy with depression. It's really easy to confuse. I mean, if your diet sucks, you're not going to have energy. You don't have energy, you don't feel good. You don't feel good, you think it's depression. Versus people who truly feel depressed and have literally taken their lives from it, and people are like, oh shit, he was serious. Like, that's fucked though, because it's like no one listened so much, and then even people will be like, oh, he's just a quitter. I'm like, what? You don't even know what he's feeling, like, or that person's feeling, and like they took their own life. And here's my biggest thing: if depression wasn't real, I have a hard time understanding why people like Robin Williams would have taken their own life.
Yeah. I you know, it's funny, but at the same time, you know, like he's just because he was more on the comedic side of acting, you almost build that persona around him, where he must be happy. A happy guy all the time.
But if he's not happy, what is he feeling?
Right. I guess my argument would be, you know, and I think it's that. I think it's getting confused. There's a blurred line in between there where it's kind of just being thrown around at this point. Because everybody wants to say they're depressed, they're suffering from some sort of depression. And then you see people that they were able to get out of it, whatever they thought their depression was, you know, and then you can tie that to everything. Well, if they were able to get out of it, and if they did the work, or if they changed their mindset, why couldn't you? I guess that also ties into whatever the trauma is at hand, but then it also comes down to, well, what actions are you taking to try to, you know, kind of heal that? I feel like we're in a lot more control, and we put too much in outside.
It's tough. I get what you're saying. I feel like there definitely is a clinical side of being depressed, but then there's also people who say, well, you know, I'm sad today. Does that mean you're depressed or you're just having a bad day?
Or you're in like a funk for like a week or 2 weeks. And
just to throw out there, depression is not sadness.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people confuse that. People see depression. You Google depression pictures. There's someone sitting in the corner sulking.
Like rainy clouds.
Depression can have a smile.
Yeah.
Smiling is literally exposing your teeth. That's a physical thing. That has nothing to do with feeling.
Yeah.
A smile. Some of the saddest people have the best smiles. You know. So, depression is not this sulking like. Oh, depression. I can have depression right now.
Yeah. You wouldn't even know it.
You wouldn't know. Just like diabetes. And if we based the way we judge people off a few shitty people, we do it with religion. You see a few people who are fake with religion, and you're like, your whole religion sucks. Imagine if we did that with cancer.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, these people recovered from cancer. Why are you being a pussy?
Yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah. Like, why do we do that, though? Like, we would never. We're like, no, cancer is serious. Would you agree cancer is serious?
Of course.
But what about the people who recovered?
Yeah.
Why don't the other people recover?
Pussies.
Exactly. But you
kidding.
See,
it's a joke.
You see conceptually, though, and that's what's important. Individuality. You cannot blanket statement a condition or a group of people.